Hello everyone and welcome aboard Mariner of the Seas. Today we've got a ship tour. Just a little background on Mariner of the Seas before we get started. She was the fifth and final Voyager class ship built in 2003, and she went through a major renovation, or as Royal Caribbean calls it, amplification, back in late 2017, where she received many upgrades. And another disclaimer that this was filmed September of 2021. Anyways, let's get into the tour. And so just like every ship tour here on the channel, we're going to start all the way up in the front and all the way at the top of the ship. Here we've got the mini golf course here on board Mariner of the Seas. It's about a 9-hole golf course and has a lot of different decorations here. Immediately off to the side of the mini golf course, you do have a pretty nice seating area where you have the little tiny cabanas and also some lounge chairs as well. Very nice, relaxing place. I didn't really see too many people sitting around up here, so might be a pretty good place to hang out if you just want some peace and quiet. And here we just have like a top-down look of the solarium. We'll get to there in a minute. And then moving further back, we have the jogging track on board the ship. It goes pretty much all the way up to where that TV screen is down there, and then kind of loops back around. So it's a pretty good size. Then here we have an outside look of the Viking Crown Lounge. And then, of course, now we have the inside view. Right below the Viking Crown Lounge, we have Adventure Ocean. This is the kids club, or the kid club on board the ship. If you head directly inside from this point, you will see where all those kid clubs are inside. And all the way to the right-hand side of the ship, we have the Babies and Tots club, or I guess where you can drop off your little ones. And then inside this arcade here, which here we got a good look at the arcade, but inside here is where actually you will find all of the actual teen clubs and the kid clubs on board. Making our way all the way to the very back of the ship, we have the sports deck, which is complete with the flow rider and some of the water slides on board as well. And a little bit further forward, we do have the skypad and basketball court that we'll get to in just a moment. On the opposite side of the water slides, we do have those hammocks and a little climbing area for little kids. They can jump onto these little pads right here and kind of climb their way to the top, which seems pretty cool, pretty entertaining for them. And we do also have two little swings here. Very interesting looking swings. And then right beside those, right in the middle really, we have the Skypad, which is a virtual reality trampoline park. So you get a little virtual reality headset on, and you get strapped up into a little harness, and you start jumping up and down on a trampoline, which sounds really cool. And then right in front of that, we have the basketball court on board, as well as the rock climbing wall. And on the opposite side of where we saw Adventure Ocean just a moment ago, we have Johnny Rockets, which is like a old school, a vintage diner kind of feel. It's really good. Staying on deck 12, just moving towards Midship again, we have the Sky Lounge bar, as well as some stadium seating. And then at the bottom of that, on deck 11, we also have the pool bar. The stadium seating is very nice for when you want to catch a movie on the big screen. That is right below the Crown and Anchor Lounge. So great place to sit, especially when the ships are kind of empty like this. There's usually no shortage of seats. And then dropping down to deck 11 forward, we have the solarium, complete with a couple hot tubs as well as a pool towards the middle here. The solarium is a very nice adults-only area. You also have a ton of seating down here as well, and it's always very quiet there. But now we are going to move even further forward, about as far forward as you can here on Mariner of the Seas, because we have a look at the Peekaboo Bridge, which if you're not familiar with that, it is basically a little window here that you can look down into, and you can look at everything going on down on the bridge, which is really cool. So like you can see all the navigation stuff, and the captain, and everybody down there. So it's a really cool place. You got to check it out. Moving to deck 11 Midship, we have the pool deck. Here we've got two pretty large pools, as well as 4 hot tubs, which is really nice. So lots of pools here on board Mariner of the Seas. And of course, here on deck 11, we do have a pretty good view of the TV screen as well. Looks like if you're down in some of those hot tubs or in the pools, you probably have a pretty good seat for the movies. And of course, right before you head inside, we have the doghouse, which is like a hot dog stand. And then as soon as you pretty much enter those doors, you're going to hit the Windjammer Cafe, which is the buffet here on board Mariner of the Seas, as well as Chops Grill and Chamie's Italian are also found in this area as well. And of course, with the COVID regulations, you do have to scan your room key. That way they kind of keep a count of how many people are inside the buffet at one time. And then you do have to wash your hands, of course. Now, due to the reduced capacity of the ship, they only have one side of the buffet open. So all the food is going to be on one side, and then everything else on the other side is going to be closed off. But one cool thing about these ships is that you get a really good view off the back of the ship. So with it being so far back, you get a really nice view, especially on a day like today, when you have a great look at Perfect Day Coco Cay. And like I mentioned earlier, at the front of the buffet, over on one side, we have Jamie's Italian, which is the obvious Italian restaurant on board the ship. And then here on the other side, we have Chops Grill, which is the steakhouse on board. Both are, of course, upcharged because they are specialty restaurants, but I hear great things about them. All right, and so we're going to jump from deck 11 all the way down to deck 5 aft. We have the dining room. The reason we're jumping all the way down from 11 to 5 is because between decks 6 and 10 is all staterooms. But anyways, here we got a look at the 3-level dining room here on board the Mariner of the Seas. It is absolutely massive, and it is one of the largest at sea. And heading straight out from there, we have the Royal Promenade. Heading from back forward, we have the guest services, and then the shore excursion desk on the opposite side here. Here you can use these little touch points to book your shore excursions if you'd like. And then here we have one of my favorites, and definitely one of my favorites on board the cruise. We have the Cruise Next desk, where you can book any future cruises. If you see Hannah from the Cruise Next desk on board, tell her Justin and Brandon said hello. She's best friends with us by the end of the cruise. Anyways, and moving forward on the Mariner of the Seas through the Royal Promenade, we have the liquor store here on board where you can get some alcohol. On the opposite side, we have the Regalia Jewelry Store, as well as the Bamboo Room, complete with this little dune buggy with the stuffed animals out in front. This is just pretty much a drink bar. You can go hang out in there. It's really good. I had the penicillin from there. It was a great drink. And of course, on the opposite side of the Bamboo Room, we're kind of just jumping back and forth frequently here on each side. But we have the gift shop on board where you can buy all of your Royal Caribbean and Mariner of the Seas merchandise on board, including one of my personal favorites, the ship model. Then we have an Irish pub kind of place. It's the Barnacle and Barrel Bar. And I believe they do have live music in here as well, which is really cool. And right outside the Bamboo Room, we have a little secret staircase down to the casino, so where it kind of drops you right in the middle of everything. Here we have the Grand Glacier right in front of Cafe Promenade, which has just really just a bar, and it also has some Ben & Jerry's ice cream as well. So if you want to pay for some really good ice cream, this is the place to be. Cafe Promenade, which is like a little pizza bar, which is really nice. So we always stopped here at least once a day and got either a slice or two of pizza and some waters, which is really nice. So really cool place just to kind of hang out and have a quick bite to eat. Across from Cafe Promenade, we have Playmakers. We ate here twice on board our 3-day cruise here on Mariner of the Seas. It was very, very good. And then all the way forward, we have the Star Lounge, which is just a little lounge up in the front of the ship. It's really used mostly for bingo and little activities here and there like that. Dropping down to deck 4, we have a little outdoor area underneath the lifeboats, which is a very nice place to go outside and relax if you don't want to be all the way up top. And a cool thing about the Voyager class, as well as many other classes with Royal Caribbean, this does have access to the bow of the ship. So you can actually head all the way to the very front of the ship where the helipad is, get a really good view of the bridge, which is also really cool. If you want to have some really unique views of the ship and just unique views going in and out of ports, this is definitely the place to be because the helipad is a great vantage point on board the ship. Staying on deck 4 all the way forward, we have the Royal Theater. We have entrances on both sides of the ship, on deck 4 and deck 3 as well, and you get this really cool staircase leading down to deck 3. But staying on deck 4, if you turn right around, we're going to hit Izumi's, which is the Hibachi Restaurant on board. We didn't try this while we were on board the Mariner of the Seas this time, but hibachi food is always very good, and I hear great things about Izumi. Continuing towards Midship, we have the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar is a favorite and a classic on board Royal Caribbean ships. Very, very popular. There's usually live music here, and it's always kind of like old school pirate theme, which is kind of cool. But then as you continue further and through the Schooner Bar, you have the Casino Royale is what it is. But this is the casino on board Mariner of the Seas. So if you're looking to do some blackjack, some gambling, or maybe some slot machines, this is a great place to be because there is a ton of machines to be playing on. And as you exit the casino on deck 4 aft, we have Bolero's, which is one of the random bars here on board. And then on the opposite side of there, we have a Starbucks on board, which is really cool. It tastes just like the coffee on land. So if you need a morning coffee, check it out. And then jumping directly down below, we have Studio B, which is the ice skating rink on board where they hold all of the ice shows, as well as Focus Photo Gallery, which is where you can get all of your printouts of your photos that you have taken on board. You get little monitors where you can pick everything up at, or you can kind of select your photos. And they're also having an art gallery on board as well, so they have a lot of paintings and stuff like that around there as well sometimes. Anyways, that's all for today's ship tour on board Mariner of the Seas. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Do you have a cruise coming up soon on Mariner of the Seas, or have you sailed on her before? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more ship tours and, of course, some cruise vlogs coming from Mariner of the Seas. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.